I'm kind of like I'm kind of at a loss for words. There's things going on. Like I don't believe that kids are being protected. There was in Fresno there was somebody running for a government position that had a assault background and was running for councilman, I believe.
Well, I believe Fresno deserves leaders that are honest from the very beginning, not the end. So going into this, I am putting my life out there.
Upfront about his status as a registered sex offender, Rene Campos is not running from his past as he runs for office.
Which I'm not sure how it's legal. I mean, I didn't know you could have a real criminal record and still run for office.
I've been given the chance to rehabilitate through the courts and back into the system.
Charged with being in possession of child sex abuse material back in 2018, the Fresno native says he pled no contest to a misdemeanor charge. Now launching his campaign to represent District 7 on the Fresno City Council. He says his focus is on safety.
So I say, let's choose somebody outside the box, somebody who knows the system from inside out. Because I've experienced the laws that we are trying to reform right now.
Fresno County Clerk and Registrar of Voters James Coos says state law does not prevent a registered sex offender from running for office.
I mean, I could see being charged civilly, but to be a convicted criminal, you can't. I mean, you couldn't get financial aid a couple years ago. I don't know.
So the state of California was trying to pass a bill that would prevent registered convicted sex offenders from being able to run for office and make laws in that state. Unfortunately, it is the state of California, and they failed to pass that law. Largely due to this dude, Scott Wiener, who gave some gross speech about how this was some sort of violation of their human rights.
This is potentially a very dangerous road we're going down, to say that minor crimes are going to ban you for life for running for office. That we live in a democracy where people get to run for office.
So, I was already kind of weirded out seeing these weird articles from Teen Vogue that was introducing concepts to young girls that I didn't think are appropriate. Then in California in the last 10 years, I've saw a lot of after school satanic programs, Satan clubs. That, like, I'm not making this up.
Schaefer, we begin tonight in the Lehigh Valley, where a school district has become the first in the state to give approval to an after-school club sponsored by the Satanic Temple.
The launch of a controversial club at a Memphis elementary school sparking protest and outrage tonight. Those opposed to the so-called after-school Satan Club gathered in front of Chimney Rock Elementary School in Cordova tonight.
The after-school Satan Club.
Did your kids have fun today?
Oh yeah, they had a blast. They can't wait for the next one.
It's sponsored by the Satanic Temple. The after-school program is popping up around the nation and in many schools that also give space to Christian groups.
Last couple days, a town in Pennsylvania by the name of Hellertown has been making news headlines for a very strange reason. A Lehigh Valley middle school has introduced an after-school program that has left parents outraged. This middle school introduced an after-school Satan club that was sponsored by no other than the Satanic Temple.
Not making it up. California, I'm going to read this with you. We're going to read this together. So California senators kill bill barring registered offenders from running from office. And I got this specific article is from KCRA. Registered offenders can continue running for public office in California after a panel of state senators killed a proposal that would have prohibited them from doing so. The state's Senate Elections Committee on Tuesday rejected a proposal, AB 2753, in a 2-1-2 vote. Democratic San Diego State Senator Sabrina Cervantes and Republican State Senator Stephen Coy voted yes. Democrat and a Republican. The committee's chair, Democrat San Francisco Senator Scott Wiener, voted no, while Democrats in Santa Ana State, Senator Tom Umberg, and El Segundo State Senator Ben Allen abstained from the vote. So you had two people that didn't vote, and you had two people that were for the ban, and you had another two that were against it, and the San Francisco mayor was against it. He supports registered offenders in office, government spaces, and in public spaces, which will still be around kids, which is weird. Anyway, legislative records show the proposal passed state assembly unanimously before reaching the state senate. Fresno Democratic Assembly member Esmeralda Soria wrote that the proposal after the registered offender Rene Campos tried to run for Fresno City Council. He pleaded no contest in 2018 to a misdemeanor charge of being in possession of children abusive material. Soria's proposal aimed to block anyone listed in California's three-tiered offender registration system from running from office. Tier 1 offenders remain in the registry for up to 10 years, Tier 2 for up to 20 years, and Tier 3 for life. Democratic State Senator Scott Wiener, chairman of the Senate Elections Committee, expressed concern about the bill's broad scope. Wiener said he would only support the measure and allow it to move forward if it applied exclusively to Tier 3 offenders. Soria declined to accept the amendment and the bill failed. I'm extremely disappointed and I feel like I'm still trying to process what we just saw, Soria said after the vote. She says, I think the fight still continues. I made a promise to my community, she said. We'll continue to make sure it's loud and clear to ensure no registered offenders are able to run or get elected in the state or local office. When asked why she refused to accept the committee's amendment, Soria said all offenses in each tier should disqualify anyone from holding public office. Tier 1, for example, includes child molestation and enticing a child into street work. Tier 2 includes incest and other things with minors. Lawmakers in the same committee advanced a separate bill, AB 2961, which prohibits individuals convicted of sex felony blacks crimes from running from office, but primarily if the victims are adults. Committee watered down the bill, allowing a convicted felon of child crimes and other grotesque crimes to run for positions like school board, city council, or state legislature. Democrat San Luis Obispo Assembly member Don Ades, who wrote the original version of AB 2961, accepted the changes. He says, we don't want to unintentionally wrap in what's known as Romeo and Juliet kind of situations into this election bill, Ada said. That's really about younger people. You are dating someone, you turn 18 and you're still dating that person, and there are things that may happen in the criminal justice system. We didn't want to unintentionally wrap it into the bill, she said. But, she said, she'll re-emphasize that she still thinks more work needs to be done. The proposal still has a few more steps before it reaches the governor's desk. Adis, who noted her years of working for abuse victims and standing up for victims, said that the heinous crimes against children are still included in the proposal. And she said her office would also provide a list to the news agency. Lawmakers are set to break for the summer recess starting Thursday, and they will return for one or more month of lawmaking, during which they could pass or reject proposals under consideration. I don't agree with it. At this point, it seems like they're doing more to protect actual criminals and people that hurt children than to keep the children safe and to make sure that the children are prepared for a future that has no jobs, has no job security for them, has no industry security, or at this point doesn't even look like they'll ever be able to own a house. At the very least, we can keep them safe away from people that are on the registry. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous, and I hope more people speak out against this. And at the end of the day, we need to protect the children.